Hi guys, it's Shami from Cuff Things and Things. So today we're going to do a canvas. I'm going to do this a little different this time. We're actually going to go through all the steps together. So this is going to be more like a tutorial. So it should be fun. I'm happy to craft with you guys. So just keep in mind this is going to be a longer video. Yeah, probably at least 30 minutes, maybe more. Okay, so I just have a small canvas here, and I just have some scrap papers that I'm going to decoupage on, because you guys know that I love collaging. It's like my favorite thing in the world. So I just have some homemade papers here, some book text, a music note that I have, that kind of thing. And that's what I'm going to use. And then here, I just took a bunch of my handmade papers, and there's tutorials on those, this envelope, and I just cut out petals for flowers, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So all you do is you just take a piece of paper, and you're going to make this kind of shape. So kind of like a moon shape, okay? So you just take it, and you can totally see what I'm doing, hopefully. Go like that. And then you're just going to go do the exact same thing. So you'll just make it as long as you want the point to be, and then you'll just bring it over. And then I just like to trim that off a little bit, okay? And you'll do that with as many pieces of paper as you want. This is going to be kind of a full flower, so I have, let's see, maybe about 20 petals here that I'm going to use for my flower. And let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is decoupage everything down. I will be using Deco Arts, their mixed media line. I love all their products. It's been amazing to use them so far. So this is their matte medium, which I love. Okay. And look, I've been working so much. I'm almost halfway done with the bottle. Good thing I ordered some more, so that's good. Alrighty, I'll have to, I know that I'm going to go through a lot of this. Okay. So all I'm going to do is just put down some pieces. As I said, this is probably going to be mostly covered up with paints, but I just love having texture on my canvases. It's just like my favorite thing in the world. So. And I don't worry about if it's down really, really well. I love texture, so, and I'm not really a perfectionist when it comes to art. I just love to have fun. That's kind of what my thing is. And if it has to be perfect, it's not fun, and I'm not going to do it, so. Alright. So, just going to put down different scraps of paper just all over the canvas. And as I said, this is going to be a longer video, so, but I have a lot where I just show you kind of the process, but in case you want to, I make videos like that where I show you the process, but I'm the type of person who learns from watching every single step, but I know that you guys, you know, you have lives and jobs and stuff, so I do my best to kind of do a good mix. But I realize that I haven't been doing a lot of stuff. I've just been kind of fast forwarding it. So I definitely wanted to give you guys some videos too that were kind of like tutorials, kind of where I show you what to do. And the inspiration for this piece I just thought of, I just want a flower kind of with a word on it. So that's where the inspiration of this came. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to cover everything up. And sometimes it's hard to show like tutorials, especially when you're making a piece, because you change your mind, you don't know exactly what you want, it just kind of comes together as it will. So, and I probably use a lot of this stuff, but I just like to make sure that everything's glued down very well. This is good, so you can see kind of my process and hear me kind of talk through it. And maybe what I should do, and I really want you guys' opinion on this, if you can give it to me, please do, is just do a voiceover. So do it in fast motion, because you know how to collage and that kind of stuff. I will have videos like this too, like kind of detailed how-tos, but I was thinking like maybe, yeah, like maybe I could just do voiceovers. And it's hard, you know, to find the right music because the YouTube music sometimes isn't the best. I do my best to kind of mix it up a little bit. I know sometimes that annoys people. The music, they're like, oh my god, you have music in your video, I can't watch it. Which I don't really care, you know, about stuff like that. If I want to see something, then I'm going to watch it no matter what the music is. And, you know, it's like someone put their time and effort in it. I'm going to take time to, if I'm interested in it, to, you know, to watch it, no matter what kind of music. But alrighty, so I'm just putting down these scraps of paper. I'm thinking that I'm not going to cover everything up, but I'm not really sure yet. I don't know yet. This is what I go through when you guys see me on camera. So it's probably like crazy that I get anything done. And if you don't have hand-painted pages, then just use scrapbooking paper. I'm a little bit of a scrapbooking hoarder just because I have to pay for it and I can make my own pattern paper with jelly prints and that kind of stuff. So I tend to use it quite sparingly. So that's why I just like to use my own handmade papers. I think it makes it really unique and lots of fun. So that's what I'm using. But if you don't have these, then absolutely use scrapbooking paper. And I have tons of tutorials on how I make, you know, painted tissue paper and jelly prints and all sorts of stuff. So you guys can definitely see that. But a canvas usually takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do in real time. So what's this? So just so you know. Okay. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to show you me drying stuff. So this will be the first. Oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dry this, but I'm going to come back after it's dried. So I'm just kind of, I like to run my fingers through. Just make sure everything is beautifully adhered to my canvas. And I'm just going to dry this off and then I'll come back. So it's all dry, my canvas. So now we are going to add some paint. So I'm trying to debate on kind of what color I want my background to be. And like I said, this is kind of a fly by your handle kind of thing. Like I didn't really have an idea. I think I'm going to do bright today. So I think I'm going to do the same color family. So I'm going to do red, pink, red, well, yellow, and orange. You guys can see the colors. These are Deco Art's High Flow Acrylics. The color is absolutely beautiful and it does not take very much. Like you just need a drop and you are absolutely good to go. Oops, is this one not open? There we go. Alrighty. And I'm just gonna, I have some water on my brush, just because I want this to kind of be a wash of color, more than anything else. So there's a little bit of color on my mat. I hate wasting color, so I'm gonna definitely bring that out. But see what that one drop did? It almost completely covered my canvas. So I shouldn't have even put that much on. Can you believe that? But that's how yummy these colors are. They're great. And actually, maybe I'll do like a blue. I think I'll do a turquoise. I hardly ever use turquoise, so I'm going to try some turquoise. I kind of tend to stick with the same color family, so I want to like try to kind of bring it out a little bit. Now the turquoise is a little light and I didn't put as much on there as I probably should have. I added a lot of water. No. looks pretty awesome to me so far. Okay. Alrighty. And I do want another color, but I'm going to dry this off. Pretty much dry. There are a little bit of areas that aren't quite dry, but that's alright. Okay, so let's get on some yellow here. I think I just want to add just a touch of yellow in some places. Just like that. I'm just going to add just a little bit of water there. Not very much. I just kind of feel like some yellow, so that's what we're going to use. Alright. Okay. And let's add some red too. Trusty little art rag there. And this one I'm not going to water down because I really want it to pop. I really want that red to kind of pop out a little bit. And I might actually do that with the yellow. I think I will. And this is just a base coat, so you don't have to be as finicky as I'm being right now. Okay. And I really want more of that beautiful blue, more of that turquoise. So we're going to add just a little bit along the edges here against that red. I think that that'll be really pretty. And you're still going to do stenciling, so after I'm done, you will not be able to see probably much of this paper's. Alrighty. Definitely want it to pop. Okay, there we go. So that's good there. I'm going to dry that off again. And these dry super duper quick, so that's dry. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to add some stencils. Okay. And I'm going to mostly concentrate on this side because that's really going to be closed. You won't really be able to see the red. Or I think maybe I'll do it like this because I really do like that red. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's get this down. Okay, and we're going to add some white back in. Okay, so here I just have some fluid acrylic, and I'm going to grab some stenciled brushes. Okay, this is a Deco Arts one. Okay, so just put a sprinkle of white fluid acrylic there. Okay. I'm just gonna, I don't really want it to be like the full stencil. I just want it touched in certain places. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So that looks awesome. Alrighty, and let's do it. Then we're going to do reversed, kind of. So the places that I didn't get it before, we're going to kind of just put it very lightly there. Alrighty. And I'm using this white on a white piece of my draw paper, and I'm like, you should add it. You shouldn't do that. You should add it to another place, right? There we go. Perfect. Gorgeous. I love it. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to let that dry. So we're going to grab another stencil. And I will put the stencils below so you know what they are. Okay. I think I'm going to try to use a spray. Now this might not work because I don't know if you're really going to be able to see the yellow, but we're going to try it. Okay. And what I do now is that I just kind of squirt it out. Look at how pretty that is. I love that. Can you see that? Gorgeous. And that's just because I wanted to pick back up some of that yellow. Okay. And I just very lightly dab it. Okay. Alrighty. And maybe we'll put one right in the center there. And very lightly. Now for me, I think that we need some black, so I'm going to use that same stencil that I had, and I'm going to grab some black paint real quick. Fluid acrylic black paint. And we are going to stencil even more of that stencil in. Just because I kind of like it so much, so we're going to grab our stencil brush here, and just in spots. I kind of like my stencil to be broken apart, like that. So I am going a little bit on that yellow, but that's fine. Down here, I think that definitely needed something, right? Okay, so, and I always like to add black and white. I just think that it balances everything, so that's kind of my little trick. And there's hardly anything that I don't use. I will use usually one or the other, or both. I really like with both. So let's put some there if we can. And see how that black's kind of fading out. I love that. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about, using a ton of paint, because it's like in the background. So some is up front where you can see it, and some is kind of at the back. So I love that. Okay. Very cool. Okay. I love the way that looks. Okay. So I'm going to dry this off again, and then when I come back, we're going to do our flower. So this is what we have so far. Very pretty. Lots of gorgeous texture. Very, very pretty. Okay. And pretty color, and I just love it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down my petals and kind of lay out my flower. I might have to trim these a little bit. So, and you know what? I'm thinking that I am going to cut out more flowers because these are a little, I don't know if I like the purple in there. Not sure. If I like the purple, how I like the purple. I kind of like it, actually. I think that it gives a really good contrast, but maybe I'll add I have some orange jelly prints, so maybe I'll add those too. And what I'm attempting to do is make a shape of a flower, so I might have to get out my pencil and just draw a circle. So I kind of want it off. I'm just going to kind of stack them on top, just so I kind of know where I'm going. And I don't want it to go too far over, because I am going to write a road board with a stencil. So this one I know that I need to trim a little bit, just like that. And I want them to overlap. That's like my one thing that I do want. That. That. It's okay if they go over the edge just a little bit. I can trim them up. And maybe that's where I'll add that. So like that. So hopefully that, I think that looks like a flower. It does to me, so yeah, I'll stick that one in there. But I kind of want it really abundant, so I'm trying to add as many petals as I possibly can here. Alrighty, just like that. And you know what? I really do like the contrast. I think it's really beautiful with that. So that worked out good. I'm just seeing if I want to add a little bit of this orange. Maybe we'll cut out a few petals and tuck them in there. And you know, you don't have to like do anything crazy when you're doing a canvas. Just kind of create. I mean, that's what I thought is I was like, oh, what can I do? I can just make a flower, make something simple, and you know, go on Pinterest and get inspiration. It's amazing how talented people are, and you never know what you'll find there. Or drawing like Jelly Belly's art journaling group. I mean, a lot of stuff you know people don't even share, and they're so creative. Or Facebook groups that have people that art journal. You know, so it's amazing. Like I said, I just wanted a flower with petals. That's how this one came to be. And I do. I like that, just that touch of orange. I think that's really pretty. Okay, cool. So now I kind of know where I'm going here. So now I have to do the scary part and take it all off. But let's see. Yeah, that's a little scary. Okay, perfect. So I have my petals right here. I'm going to grab that matte medium again. Okay, and I'm going to stick everything down. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to stick this one down, and I kind of want to, you know, to remember that it's going to be a circle, so I kind of want things pointed. And the center of the flower is going to be super cool, so. Let's do that one there. And I can add more petals if I need to, so I'm not going to fuss about it like I normally would. So I just really want that gorgeous texture. And I love so much. And just make sure you make it so that everything is down. And I am getting a little bit of color. I think it's because I didn't dry off the canvas good enough, but that's okay. Alright, perfect. Now, you don't necessarily have to, you know, put this down, like glue it down. You could just like glue it on top, just to give it texture. And I might try to add some texture to the petals. I'm not sure yet because they seem a little flat, but we'll see. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Look how pretty that is already. I love it. And I'm trying like not to, trying to be quite random about this. So, you know, like I don't care if what the pattern is. I just kind of want a pattern. Maybe we'll stick that one up there, that smaller one. You can maybe stick that one there. But as I said, you can just do simple things and it turns out great. You know, and it's a piece of you and a piece of art, which I love. Okay. Maybe put that one there, because I don't think that will fit anywhere else. I probably should have put that down. And I love, this one's one of my favorite jelly prints. And I almost cried when I had to cut it up, but I really thought it would be beautiful for this project. I should have scanned it like in my computer. I know like Rita Marie and all sorts of YouTubers, they do that, which is a great idea. I love that. So I'll have to try to think to do that when you love a piece of paper or art, that you can do that. Okay. Kind of think that we need. I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. And I don't really care if that goes off. Maybe I will cut it down a little bit more. Okay, just like that. Alrighty. Now I am loving the way that this is turning out. I think maybe I'll peekaboo a little blue over there. And it's great because I can see the collage underneath. I just love collaging. I just love things peeking through. And that's kind of my favorite thing. So you guys will always get collage when you're watching me. I'm going to find a way to put paper underneath. So I love that. I think that that is really beautiful. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking maybe I'll do like a partial petal layer. Just a little one. Just like that. Okay. And you know, like normally, like if this was just plain scrapbooking paper, I probably wouldn't like that it didn't have enough contrast, but I love this with the jelly prints and these patterns of paper because it does give a lot of contrast. So I don't think that it needs to be painted anymore. I was going to kind of paint the petals down, but I don't think that I'm going to do that because I just love the way that this is turning out so much. So I just want a little bit of a petal there. Just a little. It just takes time to kind of cut things down, so that's the most time-consuming part of this little baby, but we're going to be fine. There we go. Oh my gosh, I am totally in love with this. Alrighty. Okay, so I am going to let this dry. And actually, I don't really have to. I can move on to the next step, okay? Which the next step is pretty awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do, so let me kind of move these, and these go right into my scrap basket. I have it right over here. I save all my scraps because I will definitely find some way to use them always. So I just have a little basket down here, and I just dump everything in there, even the smaller ones, because I can use those for fabric paper. So you would be amazed at what you can use for what. So I'm just going to dump that down. Now I have this Deco Arts Dimensional Effects, and that's what I'm going to use to make the center of the flower. Okay, which this is beautiful the way that it is. I mean, I really don't need to add anything into it. I really love that yellow, but I just love to experiment. So I'm going to just take this and just take it. And this is just a beautiful textural paste that adds dimension. It's really beautiful. Now I am going to color this. So I'm going to tint it. So I'm going to add some metallic. Because I love metallics, I always usually add them into my artwork. I just love having that bit of pop. And I'm going to grab some, and I'm going to add, it's going to have some purple in it. I really love purple, so I have to add a little bit of purple. And I'm just going to kind of mix this all together. And I think it says that you do like 20%, you know, paint your fluid acrylics to, you know, to the textural paste, but I don't really measure. I just kind of eyeball it. So, okay, so I'm just going to mix that together very, very well. Just like that. Okay. And I might add just a touch more. And I'm going to need more of this high flow metallic color because I love it. Okay, there we go. So I think that that is absolutely lovely and delicious. Okay, so I'm just going to take my palette knife and I'm going to scrape it. Now if you wanted to, you could run this through a stencil and that would be fine too. You probably used a little too much. It doesn't take that much. But I just got a big old blob out. It's kind of like applying frosting. And it's interesting using palette knives. I really have never used them. It takes kind of a delicate touch. And I'm just going to cover the basis of that. And then if you don't like this, you know, even more, then what you can do is you can paint on top of it too. Just very quickly with a little sponge. And I'm kind of not liking the color right now, so I think that might be what I'm going to do. I might have to paint over it a little bit. I think that it looks a little brown, so. But we'll let it dry and see how it turns out. Just making sure that that's it. Just smooth it over a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to take my and just kind of smooth it over a little bit with my fingers a little bit. Just like with frosting, there's like that one area, you know, that and you know what, I think that it's a little too smooth, so I'm going to go in here and create some texture. So I'm just taking my knife and, because you know the center of a flower, it's textured. So, and that'll be good because when I run paint through, then we can create a really cool effect. So that's what I'm going to do here. Very cool. And I don't care if some gets on the edges here. That's fine with me. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to take this and alrighty, I'm going to add that on a mat or on another piece or something. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, we're just going to throw that over. Okay, now we are going to add a stencil. So I should have my other stencil here that I was going to use. What did I do with that one? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. But Deco Art has these really cool word stencils that I love. So whenever I find where the heck I did with it, we'll do the next part. There we go. Alright, Shamid. Okay, you know what? Before that, I am going to dry this off a little bit more. Where the flower is mixed media stencil, and this is really cool. It has words on it, so I can kind of see which ones I want. Maybe I'll do dream or imagine might be cool, or create. Maybe that might be cool too. Create art. Or serendipity. I think maybe I like dream. I think it's speaking to me. I think I'm going to do dream. And imagine might be cool too. Well, I don't like dream. Or I could even do it that way too. I could do create this way too. I think I will do dream. And I'm debating what color I want to do it in. I'm thinking white, but then I don't really want to cover up my beautiful stencils, the beautiful marks that I made for my stencils. And I think it might be pretty that way. Okay, so let's see. I am going to grab my Deco Art stencil brush. Okay, there we go. Let's put that. We're going to kind of mix them all together with the white. Okay, so I'm going to just put down some white right on my mat here. This poor mat has been through more things than I can count. I'm going to do some yellow too, but I'm just going to do just a drop of yellow, just so you kind of get the effect. Okay. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to kind of blend everything out. So you kind of get that yellow twinge. We might have to go over it again, okay? And very carefully, that's one thing about this stencil, is that you will get, kind of have to be pretty careful so you don't get all the other words on it. So just kind of go slow. Alrighty. Just a little bit of more yellow and more glitter too. Okay. Because I do really want that to pop. Let's take it off. Wow, I love that. So it says dream, and then I'm not too worried about it because I can go over it a little bit with some colors, with some markers and that kind of thing. But I love the way that that looks. Very cool. Okay, so off camera, what I am going to do is I'm going to paint the edges, so the edges of my canvas, just like that, and I'm just going to let this naturally dry. It'll probably take a little while, probably like a day or so. So I'm just going to naturally let that dry up really good. And then I'm going to go in here and detail the flowers, but I'll do that on camera together. So we're just going to wait for this to dry, and then we'll kind of go over everything with markers and paints and all sorts of stuff. So it'll be super fun, okay? So that is it for right now. I'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, guys, so we are going to finish up this canvas. So everything's dried, as you can see here. So the flower, all of it, it creates this beautiful texture, but I'm still not really in love with the color of this flower, of the center part. So I'm going to use some Dazzling Metallics. I'm going to use the Rich Espresso, and I'm going to use a little bit of glitter and just a sponge that I have here. Just to sponge on a little bit more color. Okay. And some gold there, okay, and because I really want that to pop, and I created all that texture, remember, so I definitely want to use it. Okay. Now for the flower petals, I'm thinking that I might doodle on them, but I'm not exactly sure, so we'll see. We'll get out our markers next and see what magic we can do. I'm definitely going to outline them just to give them some detail, but And I might not outline them with like a black permanent marker. I think that might be too harsh. I might like smudge it out. Okay. Just like that. But I just love, see how glittery and beautiful that is? And I love sparkle, so I love to add that little pop of metallic in all my work. So that's kind of my thing. Okay. And these are just sponges that I got for 10 cents at a hair store, actually. They had a sidewalk sale, so I got them there. But they're great to use. I'm just going on my mat here, just scraping off that paint. I don't like to waste paint. Okay, so let's I'm deciding, I think that first what I'm going to do is maybe outline the words. So I'm going to do those in gold. And you guys are probably like, what? You're going to use gold? But I always use gold. That's an inside joke for all my subscribers that know me. So, and I'm just going to outline the letters just a little bit. Just so that they kind of go, they come up from the background, if that makes sense. And outlining does really help that. And then I kind of wish that I would have used a darker yellow, so just to really make them pop out. So we might have to add some black. I was trying to avoid that, but I'm looking at this gold and I don't think that it's making it pop enough. So I'm going to have to figure out what else to do. And you know, when you guys are creating, you know, like when a piece is done, you know, and you know what it needs. It might take you a little bit. You might have to think about it, but we're creators. We know like what you want the end result to look like. Most of the time, at least. Sometimes you don't, but I just like to do things, and then it's amazing how much inspiration comes to you when you just like jump in and do it. Like that's the first step for any project, is just like do it. And actually, I kind of like that. I'm going to kind of hold it up a little bit. That's really pretty, but I do still think that that yellow needs to pop more. So I'm going to see, I have a permanent yellow marker here. That's just not enough. So what I think I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I'm going to get some yellow paint. Some bright yellow paint. Okay. I'm just going to grab just a really small detailed brush. Just that I can use to kind of trace out those letters a little bit more. And you know what? I think that the yellow is just way too opaque. It just is not giving me the desired effect that I want. So we might have to do a couple coats. Maybe that'll help. And I like to kind of keep in mistakes. Like I'm not going to like edit this part out. Like I like to show you, you know, that it's a process. And like I said, you just need to do it. And you know what? I'm going to add some gold glitter paint to that too. And that should help to bring it out really well. Okay? So I'm going to add some gold just to make it sparkle even more, so that those letters will really pop. And then after this, we can go over it with black too. And if I need to, I'm not too worried about it. I can go over the gold again. I forgot to do the inner part of my letter, didn't I? There we go. I love the way that looks. Yeah, you did that coat of yellow. And like this is the part I think that takes the longest when you're making a canvas or an art journal page. It's all these kind of little details, you know, that you notice. Yeah, at the very end, you know, things that you as the artist, when you're creating something, notices, you know, just those little details. So just take your time. I mean, this is going to be quite a long video, but hopefully you guys learned a little something, I hope. And I do a lot of start to finish process videos, but I wanted to add in just at least one or two, and I'll try to at least do one a month where it's actually kind of like a tutorial where I'm actually showing you like how to do stuff. So most likely on a canvas, because I'm kind of in love with working with canvases right now. So yeah, so expect more of these videos, and I will definitely just have the start to finish process too. I know that some people are advanced and they don't need, you know, to see every step, but then I'm just going to go in with the gold, and that's just really going to make it pop. I have to kind of wait for the glitter to dry, but once it does, I just love the effect that glitter gives to things. I love sparkle. I don't like for things to be too flat, so I think that glitter just adds a really beautiful shine. Okay, let's maybe go there. That looks so much better, doesn't it? I agree. It totally does. I might add, oh, that looks so good. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm kind of in love with that. Okay, and I'm just going to, I have some glitter on there, so I'm going to rub that out. Okay, now I'm just going to go in here and outline the inside of that R, okay? And a little bit of the D. Okay, perfect. So I think that looks great. Alrighty, so now for the flowers. I think what I'm going to do first is maybe use my Wet and Sketch pencil. Or I was even thinking about a permanent, but I can't really decide. I think that I'm going to use my Wet and Sketch pencil. It needs to be sharpened. Let's see if I have, because I think I want the petals to be like smudgy and pretty in that way. So I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go and just take this and apply quite a bit of pressure, because what happens is you activate this with water. And I want to get a white one of these too. And it just creates a really beautiful, sketchy kind of look, which I love. So it looks all smudgy and sketchy. If you don't have this, you could absolutely just use charcoal or graphite, and it does the same thing. That's just what this is actually. But the pencils are not that much. Like this is the one that I use called Wet and Sketch. I know there's some other brands out there, and they're a little bit more expensive, but I mean, you get 2 of these for like $2 at Michael's, so it's definitely something cheap to invest in. Okay, maybe I'll go in on the petals too, and then that way I can kind of see if I want to outline further, but just to kind of start here I think is good. And I'm not caring if it's perfect, I just want to get some of that smudginess in there. sharpener is. What did I do with it? It's at the bottom of it. So I have this little caddy that I put on the pins into and stuff. So I'm going to kind of lift this up and see if I can peek and see if I can find the sharpener. Sharpener, where are you? Oh. Okay, there's my sharpener, and I am going to edit that part out. It's just the part where I showed me searching for my sharpener, so you didn't miss much, but okay. I'm just really going to go in there because I want it to be a little bit dark here. I really want to be able to see those lines, okay? And you guys know that I'm going to add some splashes on top. Yeah, so I got to figure out which color I want to do it in. Okay, just like that. And then I'm just going to get just a little bit of water on a brush. I'll use the same brush that I was using before. Okay. And let me show you how beautiful this is. See how it's activated? Do you see this? Sorry. I don't think you can. I think I was out of camera there. Just like that. And it just creates like this really sketchy look, which I love. Pour this into another container. There we go. Okay. It doesn't take very much water. Just kind of want to go through and just activate those lines that you created. You can kind of pull that charcoal out too. And this does work with most regular charcoal too. So, like I said, you don't have to go out and get a fancy pencil. Oh yeah, and I love this. I love the sketchiness of it. It looks like smudged. And all you do is activate this pencil with water. And it gives you this beautiful effect. Okay, and I love that, but I don't think it's enough. So I think that it needs to further be embellished, like some of the petals. So I'm thinking, what can I do with them? Thinking maybe I'll use a black pin, permanent pin, and we'll mix some doodles inside. Or should I maybe add some color? Well, I don't think they need more color. I really love the pattern that they are. have a permanent marker here. Okay, so just in some of them, and I am going to add some white too. I think that will help. I'm just going to kind of do some doodles. Okay, so just going to make some circles first. And just in some of the petals, not all of them, but I think it'll be pretty for them to have kind of a doodly look. And I'm kind of not loving this permanent marker, so I think that I might switch to my black paint pen. And I'm just making some random dots, nothing fancy or anything like that. We are going to grab black paint pen. Okay. Oh yeah, that's much better. It really pops out. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to do all dots on the security envelope. And that's what I made these petals out of. And just random thoughts. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just creating, just adding a little bit of dimension, some visual interest with the doodles. And sometimes you'll be like, oh, what is a piece missing? And most of the time it's that it just needs a little bit of doodling or black. Black and white are your best friends when you're art journaling. Okay. There we go. Okay, I really love that. I think that's lovely. Okay. Alright, and do I want to do any doodles on the other ones? Let's see. Maybe I can do some lines just on a few of the petals. Oops, that does not want to go down, does it? Nope. Must be coated somehow. I have to switch to my permanent. Or no, it's not even working with the permanent. Isn't that interesting? Wow, well, that's okay. Okay, well, just gonna keep working on it, see if I can get the lines a little bit thicker, maybe. Maybe I'll like it a little better. What other one should I do? Maybe this one. Just gonna make some thick lines, and this pen is not really cooperating with me, but I'm not gonna let that bother me. Just gonna keep going, doing the best that I can. Okay, just like that. Okay. And you know what? I think that might be good. Maybe we'll do like one more, maybe. This one. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me grab my white pen. Okay, my jelly pen. And I'm just going to put little centers into those dots. And the white is going to pop it all out. Okay, and then these black lines, I'm going to outline them with white. And my lines are not going to be straight. I cannot draw a straight line to save my life, so I accept that about myself. So I love that things are a little off. See? Not straight, but that's okay. Okay, let's go in here. Definitely kind of want to take your time, but I'm not really doing that. I tell people that, but I never do that, so. If you were like worried, if you really wanted those black lines to stand out, you could go in with your paint pen again and just kind of straighten them out a little bit, but that's fine with me. And it just, see how the doodles just add just a little something. You know, like it's just a little something, but it just did something to the flower. It made it pop out a little bit. It's able to kind of stand out more from that background, which is what I wanted, so I'm very glad that I did that. Now, if you didn't want to doodle, you could paint over them too, and that would be really pretty. And I was tempted to use my gel watercolor crayons too, but I decided against that. Wow, I love the center of this flower. It's just gorgeous, absolutely pretty. Just go in here a little bit, clean up those dots. But you know what? I am super happy with this piece. I really don't think that it needs more. I think the kind of, yeah, I just love it. So I'm trying to think though if I want to outline these with white, just to make the dream pop even more. I think I will do that. And kind of be gentle on this canvas. This is it's a stretch canvas, so if I push too hard on my pen, it can totally go through. So just kind of keep that in mind. And just take your time in this part. But it just makes it pop even more. So I'm a little bit in love with this right now. And gel pens are one of those things that you can have in your stash. I always tell people, make sure that you go to the art store. It's amazing how much cheaper things are. Like this pen would cost $5 or $6, you know, at Walmart or, you know, an Office Max or something like that. But it was only $1 at the art store. So go to your art store, check it out. They have great prices. You can find cheap stencil brushes. You can find so much things. Matte medium, they usually have a cheap brand there that you can use, but it's not really bad, like bad quality. It's usually pretty good. It's better than, most things that you would buy at maybe at a cheaper place, like at a dollar store or something. If you're doing canvases, I love the dollar store. I get so much stuff there, and I make art journal pages with stuff that I get from the dollar store and that kind of thing. But if you're going to sell your art, then definitely, invest a little bit just in a few things. But I love how this looks. I am in love with this. It's so beautiful. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this time with me. I think that I will add, just because I want to, I'm going to get some gold paint, and I'm going to add some splatters. So I just have some gold. This is Deco Arts Gold. And I'm just going to add a lot of water to it, and I am going to put some beautiful drops of color on there. That was probably a little too thick for me. Yeah, those are a little too thick. And I'm going to go in and just take them out. And that one's too thick too. But if you're quick, you can just wipe them off if they're too big. And it just adds a little bit more color to your canvas. No worries. And I think the closer you do it, the smaller the specks are. At least that's what I found. Don't quote me on that, but when I do it high up, then it seems to, yeah, and that one's a little too big. We're just going to kind of blend that in. And this is just watered down paint, metallic paint. And I will dry this off so you can see kind of what it adds. But I just love just go as much as you want. Definitely don't go crazy, but unless you want to. But it just adds kind of an interesting pattern. They're like, what is that? Like on top. So I need to get that corner in there. But I just love how this is turning out. Okay, so I'm going to dry this off really quick, and then I'm going to show you up close. That is it. That's how it turned out. Isn't that beautiful? So I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. And it just says dream. Yeah, which all of us should do, right? And just beautiful. And everything that I used was from Deco Arts, except for this sketch and wet pencil. But everything else was Deco Art products. They have amazing products. I'm really enjoying using them. And all I'm going to do to finish this off is that I am going to just seal it with like a brush on varnisher. And they have them in matte and in gloss. So I will pick which one I want, and I'll just brush that on just to protect this beautiful work of art. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will try to have like a tutorial kind of mixed media piece where I actually go through all the steps with you. And if you guys have ideas of stuff that you want me to do, please let me know. But I definitely think that if there's beginners out there, you know, and I have a little bit of knowledge, but I am so willing to share it, then we can definitely do pieces together. So this is going to be a tutorial. But I will have more where I just do start to finish. Where I just kind of get into my creative mood. And you guys saw, like, it takes me a while to create. I change my mind, you know, I add things, take things away, but it's totally worth it, and it's just been so great spending this time with you. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, let me know. All the products that I use were from Deco Art. If you have any questions on specific products that I use, please let me know. I would be happy to share them with you. But I am just in love with how this looks. So I'll bring it up close so you can see. So you can see that there's the pieces of paper in the background. And then you can see some of my jelly prints there. And that's what makes up the flower. And then look at all of this texture from the dimensional texture piece. Absolutely beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And all the stencils and work. Just beautiful. So, and it didn't take that long to take. The longest part was actually doing the doodling and adding those last minute touches, you know, that all of us love. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.